आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार, जय हिंद। Do you want to go to a trip? Yes, you heard it right. Do you want to go to a trip to Antarctica? And in this trip, students are the most suitable candidates to be taken to that trip, a trip to Antarctica. You might be surprised what I'm talking. Yes, you heard it right. There was a trip organized for students to go to Antarctica. And this trip, any student can participate in this trip by logging on www.studentsonice.com. This is the site. Again, you can log in this site www.studentsonice.com. This is one site. By logging on this site, student can participate on a trip to Antarctica by the name Students on Ice. This is only because students are preferred for the trip, because students, they absorb fast, they learn fast, and they act very promptly. This is because the health of earth is not fine, it's not healthy, it's sick. Our earth is now ailing. Our earth is suffering from so many diseases like pollution and global warming, and our earth is facing challenges like deforestation and excessive use of its resources. The glaciers are melting fast, the level of sea level is rising up, and it's very soon, if something is not done to check, then the life on this earth would be under threat. So today I am with a story series of my storytelling that's very similar to the story The Journey to the End of the Earth. It's taken from Vistas book of class 12th. Now let us understand the meaning of journey to the end of the earth. Here, journey to the end of the earth is given because Antarctica is situated in the southernmost part, at the bottom part. So in one way, it is the end part of the earth. Now there's another meaning implications, that is, if soon something is not done, so that will cause the total destruction of life on earth. So in that way, it is also called journey to the end of the earth. The chapter is written by Tishani Doshi, and Tishani Doshi organizes a trip for students. That trip is called Students on Ice, and she takes the student to Antarctica. She is in South Indian, and for somebody who worship the sun in South India, generally it's not that cold. So for her to go to Antarctica for 2 weeks time, it's really very challenging. So she starts her journey from 13.09 to the south, to the north of equator, from Madras, and to reach to Antarctica, she has to travel a journey of 100 hours, including plane and then car and by a ship. That ship is called Academic Sokalsky, the ship on which students and Tishani Doshi went to the trip to expedition to Antarctica. That ship is called Academic Sokalsky. It was Russian built. Now, to reach to that place, Tishani Doshi has to cross 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 oceans, and as many ecosphere. Now we need to understand who organizes this trip. So this trip is organized by Canadian Geoff Green. Earlier he used to organize trip for the elderly people, for the rich people, for the retired people. But then Geoff understood now it's time for student to be taken to Antarctica to understand all these things, that what is happening. Because it is said, if you want to know more about planets past, present and future, Antarctica is the right place. If anybody wants to know about planets past, present and future, Antarctica is the right place. And in Antarctica, more than 500,000 carbon record is trapped. This chapter has got 3 parts. First part is called part of history. second part is called human impact, and third part is called walk on the ocean. This chapter, Journey to the End of the Earth, has three parts. Once again I repeat. First part is called part of history, second part is called human impact, and third part is called walk on the ocean. Now when Tishani Doshi with the students, a group of 52 people, when they reach to Antarctica, there is a sense of relief and there is a sense of wonder. Relief because they reached over there very safely, and wonder why? Because this Antarctica is one place which was, even all the parts of this earth, all different continents including India, was once a part of this Antarctica. That's why this thought was very surprising. Now let us go by part. Three parts are there. Let us discuss the part 1, part of history. This Antarctica, where it is situated now, it was 650 million years ago. 650 million years ago, there was a huge mass of land called Gondwana, and all these 7 continents were a part of that huge mass of land, Gondwana. And this Gondwana mass of land, amalgamated mass of land, which kept all 7 continents, it was very hot in those years. It was not cold like this, and it had a variety of plants and animals. That time animals, human being did not, there was no existence of human being. And this Gondwana mass of land, this big mass of land, flourished for 500 million years, and it had a very warm climate and atmosphere. Slowly what happened, dinosaurs were getting wiped out, and then there came the mammals. So this was the part of history, and this is the first part we have seen. Now let us understand the second part, impact of human. Now what damages human beings have done to this earth? We know this, and let us see the existence, the life of human being on this earth is just 12,000 years. For 12,000 years, man have been inhabiting on this planet, and see the havoc, the kind of disastrous and the destruction the human beings have caused. This 12,000 years, when we measure it on geography clock, it comes for some second. And the most threatening problem is the problem of global warming. The most threatening problem the human beings have caused on this earth is the excessive use of its resources, depletion of the earth's resources. And global warming, we know that is one such thing. Global warming, how does this global warming act? We all know that plants takes the carbon dioxide released by the human beings, released by the animals for making photosynthesis. Since forests are being cut, and in the atmosphere the level of carbon dioxide is going up slowly and slowly. And when there is the amount of carbon dioxide, when it increases in the atmosphere, it works as a glass house. It covers the atmosphere of the earth like a glass. And what does it have? Before that, I would say you one thing, that all the sun rays that we receive from the sun to our earth, coming to earth, 99.99% of heat and light is sent back to into the space. But now there is a global warming, so the global warming works as a glass, so it allows the sun rays to come to the earth, and it does not allow the heat to escape. Heat is absorbed, and that increases the temperature. World's 90% part of ice is stored in Antarctica. 90% of part of the ice is stored in Antarctica. So what happens even if a fraction of the ice is melted, glaciers are melted? And we know that in the photosynthesis, we know in southern ocean, the phytoplankton are the algae, and they are a huge source of food. They support the food chain of the entire the aquatic life. And because the ozone layer is getting affected, ozone layer is depleting, and since if the ozone layer is fully destroyed, so what will happen? It will happen that it will affect the photosynthesis process of phytoplankton, and that will totally disturb the food chain and food web of the southern ocean, and which will totally destroy the ecosystem of Antarctica. Now we need to understand where the earth has come from. The earth has come from, it was not always in this shape. So here it is very significant to understand Cordilleran faults, Precambrian granite shield, and the evolution and extinction of ozone and carbon. This India was slowly moving towards north, and then it pushed Asia and got struck against Asia, and its buckle it crushed to make the, and from there how the Himalayas came. And South America was drifting towards north, making way for drag passage that create the cold circumpolar current, leaving the Antarctica desolate, cold, and at the bottom of South Pole. This is how this came into this form, and slowly from there this big part of the this called Gondwana broke into different continents as we have in this shape. So it is the effect of if this, and because of this ozone layers getting depleted, so if it is affected, the phytoplankton will be affected, and that will totally destroy. That's why it is said that, and the ecosystem of at Antarctica is very simple. There is a very few variety of the life and species is found, and it is said that if you take care of small things, the big things will automatically fall in place. This was the human impact. Third part is walk on the ocean. Now when this academic Sokalsky, this ship was not able to move any further towards south, and when it reached 65.55 to the south, it was not able to move, and then all the people were asked to get on the floor, which was a solid frozen mass of ocean. And to walk on the ocean you require a special kind of shoes, and because you cannot walk on this ice, solid part of ice, with the normal shoes, and they put a special kinds of goggle because there's a huge reflection of light, and they walked it, and they enjoyed the things, they traveled, they have all 52 people got down to that place, and there they realized it was like walking on a big ping pong ball without much of landscape view, houses, building. There was nothing, with a few species of animals, shark and seals and others, and hardly there was any other thing. But below 180 meter below this water surface, there was aquatic life all around it. At last it is said that a lot of things can happen over a million years. A lot can happen over a million years, but what a change even one day can cause. So that's why it is said that it's time to take care of our health. Students were taken to understand we need to take care of our health, of the earth, before it gets too late, because this is the only planet in the solar system where life is possible. It has all conducive conditions, atmosphere to support life. So this is our responsibility. This is the responsibility of every student. This is the responsibility of every citizen inhabiting on this planet to take care of this earth. Otherwise life would be impossible. Earth planet would become like any other planet of solar system where there is no life. So that's a beautiful chapter, and I think this chapter must be taught to all the students. This chapter, Journey to the End of the Earth, must be made compulsory to all the students, all subjects, to all students, for all classes, for all years, because it is one such important chapter, whereas students generally do not find much interest in it. So that is, I tried my best to explain the chapter in the most simple way and interesting way. Jai Hind.